They come up towards the turn of the 600, and our Big Mike has them chasing. Our Big Mike at the 300 metres looks to lead all of the way. Our Big Mike at the 150 getting weary. Still 2 legs, Barisha and Tally. Our Big Mike is going to lead all of the way. This has been a big win. Our Big Mike has won the Pakenham Cup. 2 legs, Barisha. Our Big Mike from the Phelan yard, the Kiwis have come and conquered.
Massive win. That was a $300,000 race, the Pakenham Cup, and it was just a great raid and well planned as well by the Phelans. And we do have Shaun Phelan joining us here on the Punters Lounge live this morning as well to talk not only Big Mike but also Not a Bad Idea later in the card. And in between times, Shaun will take off his glad rags and put on his silks. It must be one of those days, Shaun. Great to have your company here on the Punters Lounge live this morning. That I don't know, how do you prepare for something like this?
Yeah, hey again. You just we sort of get used to it now. The whole team around Phelan Racing and myself and Emily riding. You know, it's just sort of a hectic 6 months of just getting horses ready, getting ready for riding, and I don't know. You just seem to just get it done and get it sorted. Yeah.
Yep, exactly. So you got your silks on underneath the suit, or how are you playing the first race?
I've actually just gone for a quick sweat run to scrape in for the 65 later on. Dad takes the horse to the races, and my little sister and my brother-in-law is doing the horses today. So me and Emily just concentrate on our riding today and watch on the sideline. There's not much more we can do.
Yeah, well, it really is a family affair, though. It must be great to have everyone involved, and I guess that makes the celebrations all the sweeter when they happen to win.
Yeah, exactly. We're just a small team, but everyone wants the same thing, just as much success as we can get. We've got a few nice horses around us, and we're going well.
Okay, let's talk Big Mike, because the first up run for third at Te Rapa was very good. He went to the Easter handicap, and things just didn't go right. We're going to, first of all, before we get that, just take you back to last year's win on this day, and geez, this was hollow, wasn't it? He really put the slipper into them. How did you assess this race, Shaun?
Yeah, he just did his thing in front, and was it Sam Weatherly was on him, wasn't he? Just, when he gets into that rhythm, when he sort of runs 13s to the furlong, he can do it all day, and then he can kick off at 2. Probably that track was a bit wet that day, and it was borderline probably for him, but I'd say the track will be perfect for him today.
Yeah, exactly. Let's go back to the Easter handicap last time out. What happened? We saw an uncustomary failure from him. What was the reason for that?
Yeah, well, we weren't that happy with the ride, to be honest. We didn't have to lead, and somehow we ended up 4 wide, and we're drawn about 4 or 5. So it was just a disaster. They ran it in 1:33. The track was pretty firm, and you know their first section of that race must have been under a minute for the first 1,000 metres. So I think he just felt the ground a bit and felt the stitch going that quick, and I think he just looked after himself. We got him back from that and had our vet run him over, and he said he was fine, and our osteopath went over him, and he's been fine ever since. So we decided to send him up to the beach for a couple of weeks, and he's freshened him up, and he seems pretty well within himself.
That's really good news. So today, he sounds like he's in good order. There's a smaller field, so less pressure. It does seem to be like it's laid on to them today with the right track conditions as well.
Yeah, without sounding cocky, it's sort of his race to win, and that's more just for us to give us some confidence so we know where he's at and going forward from here.
What is the next step after this, Shaun?
Well, take out that hiccup at the Easter handicap, we would have been over to Brisbane by now, but we decided to just hang back and make sure he's all okay and go into 2 today. And if we can get over for the Brisbane Cup, maybe. If not, there might be a race in Melbourne over winter. You know, there's 150 grand staying races every Saturday over there. We might better have another go at.
Okay, yeah, so obviously he's doing everything right at this point for you to be even considering those sort of things. So expectations today, just guide us into him. Can he win?
Oh, without a doubt, I think he can win. You know, you look back at his form in Australia, not many horses can do what he did. He won that Pakenham Cup was a strong race. He before that he ran third in the Kyneton Cup, and they broke a track record there. And we just put that last race through him, and hopefully he's just got a bit old and cunning, but he seems well, and I think, it's his race to lose, really, isn't it?
Sounds good to me. Let's move you on to the last race of the program, sticking with the flat theme, and not a bad idea. That they haven't been too kind to you with the barrier draw out there in 16, and you've got 61.5 to carry with Vinnie Colgan up. But the form leading in, how are you assessing that?
Yeah, that just makes it a bit tough from the draw, but he's sort of horse that can get back, and whether the track will be playing for horses to run on, I'm not too sure. We could have gone for a claimer, but he's not really a claimer's ride, and we just want to get a line off a senior jockey and see where we're at going from here.
This form race that we're looking at, Shaun, you're up against Not a Bad Idea and some pretty handy ones. He's closed off really well for third. How's he progressed?
Yeah, that was a good run, and those two horses have gone on to Australia, I think, now, and they're both group horses. So, if he can carry the weight, he'd be a big chance today.
Exactly, and even in behind him, Socialites has gone on to Rotorua last weekend and run second, and she's finished second to last. So that form looks okay as long as the weight and everything. So what about after this one? What could he do next?
Yeah, well, we were going to try and get him over to Brisbane with Big Mike, but he's just a little bit behind the 8 ball, and we're going into a race like this, it's not really suitable. There's just no suitable races around for a 3-year-old like that. So as long as he can show something today, we might chuck him on the plane as well, or find something else. Yeah, he's probably still 6 months away. He's quite a big lanky horse, and what he did earlier on, he just did it on ability.
Okay, let's put the riding helmet and the silks on and have a look at your two rides there. First of all, the Waikato Hurdles. How close have you got to a win in this race in the past, have you been?
Yeah, I've only just had a couple of placings. Haven't really had. It takes a sort of special horse to win the Waikato Hurdles. You got to have a bit of speed and be up fit early in the season. And I just never come across a horse that is going that well. Yeah.
What about Tomiro? What did you make of the first up run for third?
Yeah, I was happy. He had a good blow after it, so he'll improve a lot off that. And I think the race should pan out a bit better today, with a bit more pace in it, and I think we'll get a nice run. And I think the track will be perfect as well. So he ticks every box, and I chose him over It's a Wonder, so I'm just got to stick with it.
Exactly. We saw in about every jump from about the 600 metres that Willie John McBride was just jumping his fences, then veering out afterwards. He's run into your line a couple of times, didn't he?
Yeah, well, if it was a flat race, you'd be probably going to go to a protest. It was really distracting for a horse like Tomiro, because he's not a very big horse, and he's a big jumper. He likes to go long at a fence, and when you've got a horse, let alone a white horse, taking your line at every fence, it is quite hard. And I think that Willie John McBride just had that bit more race day fitness than everyone else, and I think that's why he got up. Whereas I think my horse will improve, and I'll just be trying to stay out of his way.
One thing as a jumps jockey, you are looking for the right sort of horse to take you through a winter. You know, a horse who can get you on a winning run and win those sort of races heading into Ellerslie, Queen's Birthday weekend, Awapuni and Hawke's Bay. How does Tomiro sort of fit into that?
Well, he's my Waikato ride because he likes the good ground. So I've always had him in mind for this race, and probably the Hawke's Bay, because he wants that good ground. Whether later in the season, you just don't know. So these are his group ones really for him.
Okay, yeah, and the other ride you've got is El Fernando in the maiden hurdle. How are you assessing him?
Yeah, he's a handy horse on the flat. That same again. He'll love the better track today, and it'd be a good chance.
Okay, of the two rides and the two runners for the stable, who's the one you're hoping to win most?
It'd be good to see Big Mike get up and win today, but I wouldn't mind winning Waikato Hurdles as well.
Yeah, exactly. I guess there's a bit of, let's get one for the family and one for me as well. It'd be nice to do them both. Thanks for joining us, Shaun, and best of luck today. As you said earlier in the week, it's a bit of a mixed lolly bag for a trainer and a jockey on the same program.